Hi Aries, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. Your key to the week this week is the Emperor card. So as an Aries, this is naturally your card. This is the card that rules Aries. So this week you show up very strong as yourself, but this is also suggesting to me that you are holding on to yourself as you understand yourself to be. So what do I mean by that? Remember, your ruler is currently in the sign of Gemini, where it doesn't really do very well in this sign. Why? Because Aries is all about forward momentum. Mars is always all about forward momentum, energy, passion and drive. And Gemini is about doing things in different ways, weighing things up, or sorting things out, or going in two different directions. So it's harder for you at this moment in time to gain some kind of momentum. With the Emperor card as your key to the week, this is you holding on to all that you know, all right? And the only thing that we ever truly know in this life, if we've done enough work, really is ourselves. And so this week, I kind of feel like this is you holding on to who you know yourself to be, but also asking yourself, where can I change? Where is it that I need to adapt or evolve in terms of, or should I say in line with, the environment that I find myself in? Your lifescape could feel like it's changing very fast over the course of this next week. And I actually think in a lot of ways, this could really be very beneficial to you, providing you know yourself well enough. Or even if you don't, you could just say, look, you know what, things are changing and I just need to be along for the ride. If you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. Please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and this resonates, hit that subscribe button. For your cards for the week ahead, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your actions and options this week, you have the Seven of Swords, right? So look at this, right? The Seven of Swords can be about lies and deceits. And in this position, this could literally be about lies that we tell ourselves, especially because you've got it with the Emperor. However, this card on its positive note can actually represent design and redesigning something. So you've got this here with the Emperor card, which suggests that this week, this is about you saying to yourself, I can continue with the story that I've been telling up until now. If you haven't seen the weekly general, check it out. There'll be some really interesting information in there for you that I think might help you make sense of some of this stuff. Or I can decide to tell myself a new story and I can forge a new path and a new destiny. There's a sense here where you might not necessarily feel what you're doing. You might kind of be all over the place and think, you know what, I'm just kind of winging it here, but I know I need to do something different. So this week, don't be afraid to go against the grain. Don't be afraid to do something different. For your communications and conversations, you have the Nine of Swords. All right, so this week, when it comes to conversation and communication, it could be that this week maybe the way... I will say because Mercury's retrograde. Mercury is the ruler, or should I say Mercury is the host currently of your planet, which is in Mercury's sign of Gemini. So in a sense, you're kind of a bit like, ooh, okay. And so communication itself for you is going to be a little bit awry anyway. And for everybody, it's also going to be that. You could misconstrue something this week. And the thing that I have to say to you is the potential for you to take something really personal that actually has nothing to do with you, or maybe your heckles are up because of something else, and when you hear something you might think, oh, they're talking about me, or this is because I've done A, B and C, and it really isn't. It has nothing to do with you. This is one of those times where I'm going to say this, you know me, I try to steer very clear of the stereotypical stuff for each sign, but this week I am going to say to you, get out of your feelings and put your ego to the side, all right? When you hear certain conversations, when you hear certain people say certain things, it actually has nothing to do with you. You are this week being overly sensitive, all right? This is one of those weeks where it isn't everybody else, it's likely to be you. So keep a hold of yourself. When it comes to those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, that Nine of Swords, especially if you're starting school, college or anything this week, it could be a little bit of a shaky start. It might feel really personal because it's all brand new, right? But remember, it isn't. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, honestly, this would be a week where maybe some knowledge or information that you have been given that you've been using, you might find out that actually that's the complete wrong way to do this procedure or to handle this thing at work. And you've been doing this for potentially months, right? And somebody highlights it to you now. Don't get into a tailspin about it. Take it on the chin and just say, okay, well, you know, the way that I've understood it, I've been doing it like this. Unfortunately, I can't go back and change it, but now that I know, I can adapt and I can adjust, all right? Deal with it in the specific moment. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, I kind of like this for you. I will say this might be a week where there's a client complaint though. It might be maybe somebody brings something up, maybe they're not happy with the service, maybe it's the product that they think is not so good. It doesn't reflect on you. It's just something that needs to be fixed, all right? If you take it, the message for this week when it comes to communications, whatever is said to you will feel personal, but it really isn't a personal attack. And if you take it as such, you're likely to end up getting into it and it's just going to be a waste of your time and energy. For those of you that are retired and no longer working for any reason, honestly, I would give yourself a solid sense this week of where maybe some of your words have fallen on deaf ears and don't have any plans to say them again. All right, you've said what you had to say. This is not like, you know, it's like sometimes people do that thing where they just keep repeating the same thing until they think somebody has got it. You'll go till you're blue in the face this week. Don't waste your time. For your love and relations, you have the Star card, all right? So there's hope here to reconnect, to re-establish some sort of, potentially some line of communication with a loved one, with a family member. This could be where there is a rekindling of a relationship. It could be, you know, if you've had difficult times with a family member or with your significant other, this could be the week where it all turns around and things actually start to improve. When it comes to for those of you that are single, it's likely that you'll be talking to somebody over the airways or somebody that you meet online or through an app. Remember, you've got the Nine of Swords here and the Seven of Swords here. It's really important that you don't present yourself as one thing and know that you're not actually that this week, because the chances are you might get caught out very quickly. For those of you that are partnered, married or in long-term commitments, the Star card is beautiful here because it's like you and a partner are turning a corner. If you've had challenging issues, or, you know, it might even be as well that some of you are going to counselling. Very possible. For your money and materials, you have the Chariot card. So your finances and your resources look good. Because you've got this with the Nine of Swords, it looks like a lot of the plans that you have for your financial outlook are now starting to come together, but it's like you can't take your foot off the pedal yet, all right? Like you have to keep going with it. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, the Chariot card, in a lot of ways, this is going to be two things. It's likely for some of you to be your chest, with the combination of cards here as well, because there's quite an emphasis on air. I would say this would be a really good week to start getting your cardio up, whether that's running, biking, walking, swimming, anything that really gets your cardiovascular system involved is likely a good thing to start picking back up this week. When it comes to your home and environment, for some of you, you could be inviting somebody from a distance or overseas to your home. For others, this could be that you're spending a lot of time out of home over the course of this week. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.